Now, first question I've got for you is, where does your name Dog Is Dead come from?
There's a lot of answers to that. I reckon we'll probably go for this one.
Okay, well, the answer we'll give to you today is it comes from Shakespeare's Richard III, where it features quite a lot, but that might be a lie.
Okay, fair enough. Is there another more prominent answer you'd like to give, or is it that?
No, we're going to stick with that one today.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you're going to get today.
Fair enough. Now, you guys have a great style. I guess seems to be slightly inspired by the 80s, and then you obviously use a sax in some of your songs, and you've got some great vocal harmonies as well. Can you tell us more about what influenced your style, and especially the harmonies that you use?
Well, I think so far as 80s influences, a lot of the writing, Rob listens to a lot of like sort of what he calls dad music. It's like sort of like the old school music. So as far as 80s influence, I'd say through the influences of what we listen to, rather than image really. We've never really gone to look like an 80s band really.
Sure.
We don't want to be some kind of rip-off 80s band or even try and revive that. It's just there's bands like Police and Bruce Springsteen and Paul Simon and things like that's all a bit of an influence, but it's just we take it as far as we want and then we develop our own sound. We listen to more modern music as well.
I'd even go as far as to say that we wouldn't like to be associated with trying to be like an 80s band. The sax is actually something that we're striving to not do.
Sure.
Use the sax in a new way rather than being a revival.
The texturing.
Used, yeah.
Totally. We're into a lot of American bands, particularly like old American punk and we've got an eclectic range of influences, and we want to mash that up and then bring it into our own style, basically. So we don't want to be pigeonholed into like an 80s revival band or something like. Definitely don't.
Yeah, I think you've certainly got like a sound similar to Mystery Jets or even Little Comets, for example. Like, would you say that's true?
I don't mind the Mystery Jets comparison.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're a great band. They're really great songwriters. They're clever. I think there's certain things that we could be associated with them for, but there's also like we're a completely different band in many ways. But no, I do respect that.
Yeah, I draw the only sort of maybe similarity was maybe the big choruses from Mystery Jets would be one of the main comparisons, but apart from that, we never strive to be like them. So it's great to be compared, but we never strive to be.
I guess we're two bands like unashamedly writing pop songs, which is quite a big thing. We've got a lot of respect for them for being like pop and here it is and it is. They're not trying to be cool. It's just way they work for me.
Sure. Now, tell us your approach to writing songs. How does it happen? How do you start writing? Who do you start the process off?
I basically come up with like a rough structure, and that's pretty much it, really.
Yeah, fit in bits of question.
Yeah. Glockenspiel song has a great saxo, and it's kind of like an anthem for you guys in many ways. Can you tell us more about what inspired that song?
Well, I guess it's like our kind of hometown celebration. Like, so we wanted it to sound like some kind of, well, it's a bit of a bipolar song in a way as well, because it explores just being a complete wreck in your own space, like, and not minding that. And like where we're from, inspires quite a bit of like the sound. And I'm not trying to sound like
check 1, 2,
Yeah.
1, 2.
I suppose it's also a reflection of where we were at that time as well. That's sort of the first main single. A lot of young boys sort of released that. It's probably just sort of school, so it's all sort of a really sort of like camaraderie to it. A feel of like just a sort of an energy behind the song. It's like something that was a big part of that song, especially the ending as well. So yeah, it's just about having a great energy as well as that.
Okay. One thing I do want to mention is you guys have a really tight sound, and it sounds like you sound very mature as a band. So how long have you been playing together?
we've been playing together about 2.5, 3 years, but not in the form of not how we are right now. So we've got to know each other musically really well, and it's a lot more recently when we've written songs that we're really proud of and wanted to put out. So, but there's still that. Whereas the history with these songs aren't as old as how long we've been hanging out together and making music. So that's been a big part.
Yeah, but maybe knowing each other is quite a big part of it. I think we didn't actually even know ourselves how well we could gel as an instrument. So maybe that's something that's actually happened without us really knowing. I mean, when we first started getting told a while ago, so you actually quite well together, you play well together, which was sort of a surprise to us. We never thought that we'd be an amazing live band. We would love to be. That's something that's sort of come on in itself without us really knowing about it.
Is it true that you picked up your drummer at a party one night?
Yeah, Lawrence plays drums.
Yeah, so that's me.
It's a weird one because our sax player Trev, he knew from a long time.
Yeah, I mean the basic idea, that's more of a sort of metaphor of sort of how it's come together. It's sort of just basically what it's trying to say is we all came together randomly really. It's sort of
I met you at a party.
Yeah, on the trampoline. But it's basically we've all come together from random places within Nottingham, but it's sort of been quite a random get together. It's not been at one point, it's all just come together like that.
I met you at the party metaphorically.
Yeah.
We all go to metaphorical parties.
You guys had a really big year last year, including a lot of festivals like Dot to Dot, and also obviously playing at Glastonbury. What was the experience like playing at Glastonbury?
It was kind of out of nowhere. It was like these things coming to us that were way bigger than we never thought would come this early.
Yeah.
These kind of things came to us way more early than we thought. It was amazing. It was sort of like, what's happening? We sort of trying whilst that was happening to keep our heads on what's going on at that time. Yeah. Just appreciate it whilst it was there.
But yeah, Glastonbury was incredible. To be playing a festival like that, it's not always to be on a huge festival and the smallest band at the biggest festivals is a weird thing. So I guess you have to make the most of what you can and get what you can out of it. And I think we did really well from it, and our experience of Glastonbury was unbelievable.
Sure. Do you find that the Glastonbury has made you more popular in terms of your fan base, and that you're getting a lot more fans and you're getting coming to your shows?
Yeah, I'd say Glastonbury was one of those things. I think there's a number of things that really helped push us on. Glastonbury was definitely a cornerstone as well as sort of exposure. It was just one of those things. We had other things, basically. These 3 singles, sort of from Blockers, we were young, just about to release Jordan. New single each time we felt we've had a bigger fan base in Nottingham and a bigger awareness in the country.
Just more people behind each one.
Yeah, I think radio was a massive help as well. We've had amazing support off BBC, Radio 1.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a massive thing. So it's Glastonbury, it's the radio support, it's the support from Nottingham. It's like a combination of things that really helped us.
So what came from Glastonbury was a big deal in terms of getting fans as well, just because the coverage we got from BBC, being on primetime television, is obviously going to be a huge thing. And people have really, and it's weird going out of town playing shows, more people being there, because you don't realise that people, if you are put on some kind of media forum around the country, people do listen and they do come. So it's a really cool thing to see.
You've got a new single coming out, River Jordan, and I guess what a lot of people want to know is, Wednesday, are you going to be releasing an album this year?
Well, we plan to record the record. We've got the material. We plan to record it around the same time. And as of release date, I don't really want to say anything quite yet. We want to keep it, but it's definitely on the cards. It's going to happen.
It's just sort of meetings and talks about how it's going to be done. It's time. it's ready to happen. It's just getting it exactly how you want it to be. Don't rush it.
So have you recorded any more songs in preparation for that?
Yeah, there's always demos flying about. We're always like, well, we're trying to get in the studio as much as possible. But we haven't set that big period of time where we're going to go into the studio and do the album and do the whole bulk of it.
Yeah, at the moment it's sort of preparing for we'll spend a week writing and then
You guys have toured with some big bands, OK Go and One Night Only, for example. What was the experience like? Did you find anything? Did you learn anything from touring with those guys?
Well, it's different from band to band. I mean, you learn how different people are around, how different people react to playing gigs, like bigger bands, and their attitude towards exactly what they're doing, and that's quite interesting to see. And obviously, being exposed to their fans is it's a nice stepping stone into becoming your own band. And the effect knocks on.
it was that, and it was sort of like a wow. Early on, especially, we got some great experiences working with bands to us where bands we always listen to.
Did it give you a lot more confidence playing to much bigger audiences?
It's a completely different situation when you're like, if you're a support band, you're almost expected not to be as good as the main act. So it's a nice little challenge, and it takes there's no pressure there, but there's a pressure to be as good as the